Palisano. I'm the Manager of Human Resources here at Western Farmers Electric Cooperative. I want to give you an overview of Western Farmers today and tell you a little bit about what we do and how we do it. I hope you enjoy it. Let's begin the overview by looking at the power system. Power is generated from a variety of sources. The voltage is increased via a transformer and it enters the electric highway known as the transmission system. The transmission system carries the electricity to the region it will be used. Then the voltage is stepped down via transformer at the substation. The voltage, usually less than 23,000 volts, is considered distribution level. Distribution lines will systematically reduce the voltage to appropriate levels until the meter point at the end user location. Methods of generating electricity. You probably already know the different types of power generation, but today I will be discussing the most common method used by electric utilities. It's called electromagnetic induction. The process was invented by Michael Faraday back in the 1800s. Most utilities use a fuel source to heat water, to make steam, to turn the generator to make electricity. Common sources of fuel are coal, natural gas, petroleum, and nuclear. Other methods can be used to directly turn the generator, such as water and wind. In many instances, there are combinations of those listed that are used together. They are called combined cycle units. Combined cycle units use natural gas combustion with steam to generate electricity. WFEC's power supply mix looks like this. Our coal unit is used for base load. It is brought up to full capacity and optimum efficiency. This takes care of the basic needs that our system has. It's similar to a diesel engine or a tractor. You bring it up to its full capacity and you let it run at that level. As load increases throughout the day, gas-fired units are brought online. The gas-fired units start faster and easier than the coal-fired unit and have a broader range of efficient operation. This is used to manage the load curve during the day. We discussed earlier the three basic areas of power systems: generation, transmission, and distribution. WFEC is considered a G&T. Distribution co-ops own us. Western Farmers makes the electricity at its generating facilities and then transmits the electricity at high voltage to an area that is going to be used, and then it goes through a transformer and is stepped down to distribution level voltages, where it is picked up by our distribution cooperatives and taken to the meter at a house. As you know, Western Farmers is an electric cooperative. So what exactly does that mean? NRECA, the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association, has a 3.5-minute video that does a nice job of explaining not only what a cooperative is, but in particular what an electric cooperative is.
Our story starts back in 1844 in not-so-merry England, where a group of weavers, fed up with the high price of company store groceries, pooled their money to buy their own food, creating a new form of business, the cooperative. The idea caught on. Here in the U.S., President Roosevelt gave electric cooperatives a jump-start with the founding of the Rural Electrification Administration, the REA, telling American farmers and ranchers, if you want electricity, you can do it yourselves. And they did. Rural men and women quickly began scraping together the $5 needed for membership and equity in the co-op. Up went the poles and wire and lines to bring rural folks what they so desperately needed: power. Soon, electric cooperatives popped up all across the country, transforming the way of life in rural America. Today, there are more than 900 electric co-ops in the U.S., bringing electricity to some 42 million Americans. So how do cooperatives work? First off, cooperatives are not for profit. Money comes in from members when they pay their electric bills. Money goes out to pay co-op expenses. A little bit is set aside for emergencies and the future. Any leftover is returned to members. Pretty sweet, huh? But it's not just about the money. Co-ops exist only to serve their members. They have a unique set of cooperative principles. All may join, regardless of race or gender or creed. That's the first principle of cooperatives: voluntary and open membership. Members vote for the directors to lead their co-op. They vote yay or nay on big issues. Majority rules. That's the principle of democratic member control. Everyone pays a little money to become a member. An owner. We call that principle participating economically. Cooperatives believe and invest in education, training, and information. That makes them smart and sets them apart. Cooperatives stand on their own two legs. Decisions are made locally for local people. We call that principle autonomy and independence. But cooperatives also work together. They join forces to restore outages after storms, get financing, do research, and speak up in the halls of government. We call this hallowed principle cooperation among cooperatives. It's what makes us strong. And co-ops have a heart, a big heart. They help kids and industries and communities to grow. They give to hospitals and fire stations, ballparks and businesses. Cooperatives deeply demonstrate this principle. Concern for community. Community's a cool concept. Communities are just groups of people. And that is the cooperative's secret ingredient. It's the dedicated people who work day in and day out to provide reliable and affordable power. It's the elected people who shape the policies and tackle the big issues. For the most important group of people, the members. Members, the whole reason cooperatives exist. Now that's the cooperative difference. And that's the cooperative advantage. Brought to you by the passionate people of NRECA.
Electric cooperatives are very unique in a lot of ways. One way in particular is that while each individual cooperative is its own business, collectively the co-ops make up the largest electric utility in the United States, representing over 900 individual companies and over 50,000 employees. One of the other unique attributes of working for a co-op is that you have exposure to many of the same challenges as working at larger utilities. But you still have smaller independent organizations that are more like families than co-workers. All the work challenges and experience without the road rage due to its rural locations. WFEC is the wholesale electric provider to 22 distribution co-ops and Altus Air Force Base. The cooperatives are located in Oklahoma and 4 of them in New Mexico. Over 70 years ago, the distribution cooperatives decided to pool their resources and create Western Farmers so they would not have to purchase power from the investor-owned utilities. Western Farmers has approximately 370 employees, over 3,650 miles of transmission line, over 350 sub and switch stations in Oklahoma, and serves members in 75% of the state. 4 members are also located in the southeastern part of New Mexico. Most of our system is 69,000 and 138,000 volts, and we have a generating capacity of over 1,300 megawatts. We have 3 major power generating sites. We have natural gas-fired plants at Anadarko, we have natural gas-fired plants at Moreland, which is in the northwest part of the state, and we have a coal-fired plant in the southeastern part of Oklahoma at Hugo. This slide represents our generating capacity. We have about 450 megawatts of coal and about 870 megawatts of natural gas. We have over 500 megawatts of purchased power capacity, representing over 1,800 megawatts total. This photo is a picture of our coal-fired plant at Hugo in the southeast part of the state. This plant was specifically engineered for Powder River Basin coal, which is in Wyoming. The reason we use Wyoming-based coal is due to its low sulfur content and consistently high BTU output. The coal is brought in by train. We use about 120 cars. The coal is dumped by turning the entire car upside